Rodney, we appreciate the time, and thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, listen to our audio podcasts on radio.com and knx1070.com. Watch our video podcasts on our new Two Tired Guys Productions channel. Where'd Bob go? All right. And subscribe to both. Oh,
There's mine.
There you go.
All right. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh, everybody's looking.
Well, mine's not. Mine's still in the. Yeah, mine's still in the box.
Hey, everybody, look at that. Look at that. Look. Okay, you guys now you make me go for the big guns. How
Okay.
you like that? Huh?
Oh wow, that's really cool. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How you like?
Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new Talking About Cars podcast with Randy Cardoon. And of course, I am Randy Cardoon. And right there, Hot Rod Bob Beck. Of course, I'm in our San Fernando Valley studio where it's 20 degrees warmer than in the Ventura County studio of Mr. Beck. And he'll be rubbing it in all show long. Yep.
I'm getting ready to put on a long sleeve t-shirt.
Oh, get out of here. It's all about Everybody Has a Car Story. Our everybody today, you know him, you remember him, Rodney Allen Rippy, the Lord of the Fast Food Jumbo Jack, is with us. Rodney Allen Rippy, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, good to be on with you. Good to be on.
You know, I was trying to figure this out, and I have known you now, and not just because I've seen the commercials, but I first interviewed you as an intern at a radio station in the San Fernando Valley in 1977.
Wow, long time.
I know. And you came in to talk about what else? I believe it was the Jack in the Box.
Yeah, a little bit of what we've been up to, yeah.
And some of the other stuff that was going on. And I seem to remember you were doing something else, but that was cool. You came in. I think your mom was there or somebody was with you. And yeah, we discussed all sorts of things. And of course, Bob, where were you in 1977?
I was a teacher.
Wow.
I worked for LA County, and I was an auto shop teacher.
Really?
Yeah, I was at an LA County juvenile probation camp.
You notice how I sound disbelieving.
Yes. They let me out every night, though. It was a little better. I didn't look much older than the kids were. As a matter of fact, and I think about it, back in 1977, other than Rodney's the only one still got dark hair.
Hey.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, look at that. I mean, you know.
Hey, man.
Well, remember, when I interviewed him, you were how old in 1977?
Wow, 77. Well, I was born in 68. So let's do the math.
Oh, so you were just you were a young kid.
He was a single-digit guy.
I was a little guy. Yes. I was a little guy, and I remember that. I actually remember being at the radio station when we did that.
Way out there in the San Fernando Valley, as we used to call it. Yes. So we all know, let's get to the big question right off the top. And we all know, of course, your exploits with fast food. We also know you can hold up a burger with the best of them, especially when you're that young. The burger at one point when you started, I believe, was almost as big as you.
Yeah.
But now let's find out. We know you could still, I think you could still, you have a card still, don't you?
Yes, the old Jack in the Box card is around here somewhere. But, I get lucky sometimes. I go in and
explain that, because for people who don't know, Rodney Allen Rippy has a card that will get him into any Jack in the Box anywhere and get food.
Well, you know what? I'm just fortunate. Sometimes I'll run across a franchisee or a person, and they'll go, "Hey, it's Rodney. This guy eats for free," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." Save a few bucks, but it's when you're on the run, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, so go ahead, Bob.
They could do a commercial like him. I mean, as he walks into order, they go, "Hold on a minute," and wait a second. Go, "Oh, there's the Jumbo Jack guy."
That's right.
There's a Jumbo Jack guy. Then you hear the guys from the the oven and stuff, going, "Oh, look, there's a jumbo jack guy." Then the guys in the audience, the people sitting at the table, go, "There's the jumbo jack guy. Yeah, there it is. See,
there he is. Remember him?
Jumbo Jack. Yeah,
That's who we're talking to. Well,
There you
years
go.
later. So
That is the jumbo jack. There you go.
I'm trying to remember. Bob just explained, I think, 2 commercials that's going on right now are kind of the same thing. One was with Dennis Haysbert, and he's the Allstate guy.
Yeah,
He's the Allstate guy. There he is.
There he is. There's the guy we know.
You know what I saw on YouTube today, Rodney?
What's
that?
There was an episode of Mike Douglas. And you know this because I believe it's on your YouTube page, or I'm sorry, it's on your website, your Facebook page. And I'm looking at this, and Cass Elliot is one of the guests.
That's
the late and great Mamas and Papas singer Cass Elliot.
That's right.
They must have brought you on first because I don't remember who the other guy in the middle was.
That was Sly Stone.
Oh, it was.
That
And he was
was
dressed
Sly.
like Sly Stone.
Wow.
And so
Sly.
you must have gotten on first because you know how it is when you have interviews in these shows like Carson and Mike Douglas. They'd have you and then they'd push you off in the next seat. Well, here you are on the side of the next seat. Doing toys, and then there's Sly, and then bring in Cass Elliot, who starts talking about this man she's dating, and they're not going to get married. And then you start talking about taking a nap.
Right. I was like, when she was talking about dating, I was like, hey, if I'm not dating, I'm going to sleep, something like it was that type of thing. It was that kind of thing, so.
You were a cute little kid then.
Yeah.
You said kid things.
Hey, I guess.
Yeah.
That was classic. I mean, go watch it. It's on Rodney's Facebook page. By the way, my wife's asked the big question: what do your friends call you? They still don't call you Rodney Allen Rippy.
You know what? All my friends, people who know and love me, they call me Rodney. And it's just I'm a local guy. I mean, I was born here in beautiful Long Beach, California. I went to school. I went to public school. In the heart of my Jack in the Box career, I was in the Long Beach Unified School District. I was just a normal kid. I actually lived on the west side of Long Beach, and thank God, what a life. I mean, it's like literally our house was right down the block and so I could walk out to school, walk down the block, and my mom would stand there in the morning and watch me walk all the way into the school. And once she seen me darn the gate, she'd turn around and go back in the house. And I mean, we're just normal people, we lived a normal life, and it was just that we had this opportunity. I had that opportunity with Jack in the Box and had so many things happen that was just completely unexpected. And it was just a wonderful whirlwind.
Speaking of which, you remember, for those of you who may not remember, this guy was in Blazing Saddles.
Hey,
no. Yes. Yeah. Did you not know that? He was in Blazing Saddles. Go ahead, Rodney. Talk about that.
Actually, I was in Blazing Saddles. Where is my? You know what? I have a Blazing Saddles. Don't move. One second, you're gonna love it.
We'll wait here.
You're gonna love it, guys.
I ain't not moving.
We're not moving. No.
Yeah, he was in Blazing Saddles.
I'm back.
You're back.
There we go. And something fell. Anyway, how you like that, guys?
All right. Talk about T-shirts.
Oh, how cool is that? Is that a T-shirt?
This is a T-shirt. Actually, I had an incredible art director pull together my own Rodney Allen Rippy Blazing Saddles Little Bart T-shirt. That's me in the wagon scene.
That's right.
There.
The wagon scene. He played Little Bart.
That's me. And so
who were the actors with you? Do you remember?
That was me, Cleavon Little. That was Gene Wilder. There were,
actually on the wagon.
They were so sweet because it was like they were literally like my mom and dad. And the funny thing is when we were shooting that scene, it was real early in the morning. And gosh, we were out in like freaking Simi Valley. And it was cold. It was like I was on the Wild West. I literally felt like a little kid. And I mean, I was like, we're on a wagon train. There's houses. it was crazy. And those were the type of experiences that you could just never, ever, ever forget. Never
Oh.
forget that stuff.
That movie is considered a landmark movie. It's one of the most. It's one of the best satires that Mel Brooks ever did.
Yes.
What was it like being part of that movie, and how do you think it's going to be? How do you think it's received today?
You know, I think that was a time when comedy was comedy. Because let me tell you something. Mel Brooks is the greatest producer that there ever was, greatest director. And this guy literally picked on everybody. And that's what it's all about. If you're gonna pick on people, pick on everybody, including yourself. And I mean, and he did. And I think that at that time, everybody understood that there was not a mean spirit in his heart. You know, it was just a funny thing because we all laugh at each other. We all laugh together. And I think that that's one common denominator that we need is to laugh and love one another and see each other, because nobody's perfect. Every nationality has something screwed up about it. But the point is, we are all one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm just going through here looking for it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find who it is. But in the meantime, one of these things we've been doing lately is talk about how crazy 2020 has been. And now we're going to talk cars, and we're going to get into that too. But let's start off with what we've talked to most people about so far is the coronavirus, which happened first. Where were you when it finally got serious, and how has it affected you, if at all?
I actually have been, I got involved in vocational education, and through a great opportunity, I was actually at a local college, actually in Riverside, and I was a admissions representative. For some weird reason, the people said, you know what, Rodney, we think that you have what it takes to help bring people into the college and to talk to people. And when you start talking about vocational education, these are people who were not college bound or actually have been working outside particular fields, but they need a solid, strong skill set. And you're talking about the HVAC, the electrical, and those type of things, alcohol and drug counseling. And as we all know, all of these type of careers are they're needed. And so I jumped into that. And to answer your question, believe it or not, sadly, when coronavirus hit, it literally furloughed me. It literally put me off and actually popped me back into my own little happy little world here at home. And that's where I've been. You know, I'm trying not to gain weight. I'm trying not to eat too many jumbo jacks, and just trying to stay happy and keep it moving and keep working on other projects, and try to keep the bucks rolling in.
Well, you're working with Bill Montgomery on a lot of things to motivate kids.
Yeah.
And I think his organization is called Prime Motivation.
Yeah.
How's that working out? And it's something that I wanted to get involved with as well. And Bill and I are friends. And I think, if I remember correctly, he was one of the reasons I met you. We were on an anti-street racing panel.
Yes, that was with my dear friend Aaron Schwartzbart. He's out of the Valley. Aaron has, and here's the funny thing. Here's a guy who is a NASA, he is a NASA engineer. I mean, he worked on NASA products and that go to the moon. And this guy's a race car driver. Yep. And he actually, something hit him in the heart, and he's a great man. And he felt a godly conviction to kind of help keep our streets safe. And so he started an anti-street racing campaign. And that's where I met you, Bob.
Right.
And he works tirelessly to make sure that our racetracks here in Southern California have an opportunity. He's like, don't be racing on the streets. We got tracks around here. Shout out to Irwindale Speedway, Pomona. Man, we got, what is it, out the other direction.
We got Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. Listen, if you got a high-performance car and you want to let it loose, take it to the track. It's just too dangerous on the street because little old people like me driving, we don't want to run them over,
Yeah, little old people. You drive a Corvette. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's okay too. But that's right. This is true.
I just discovered you were uncredited.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing. I don't know why and how that actually happened, but
I did not know that.
Yes, it was a funny thing. There were all these weird. There's a lot of kind of funky stuff that happened with Blazing Saddles, because it was originally supposed to be Richard Pryor playing the role, and then it became Cleavon Little, and then Richard became a writer, and a lot of fun stuff. Needless to say, it was still an incredible, great film.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. All right, so we talk a little bit about the coronavirus. I would be amiss. Let's talk a little about the whole situation in Minnesota, Black Lives Matter, along those lines. You put something on also on your YouTube page about when they had some issues going down in Long Beach and some violence there. Talk a little bit about the country as from then until now, and you don't have to go long on it, but again, just kind of a recap of what your feelings are and how the world is a different place.
World's a much different place, and I think that it's just people are waking up, and people are kind of going, this doesn't make any sense. And sadly, it takes such huge shifts and such huge things for people to kind of go, okay, we kind of need to sit down and talk about this, and it's about fairness. And what happened, and I was down in Long Beach, and they were doing the cleanup, and so I went down there, and I actually that day, and I saw my city, and not only just that city, I saw Riverside, and I went to Melrose, because my days and business meetings, and I'm riding around, and I'm looking at Hollywood, I'm like, oh my God, everything's boarded up. And I was like, I had no clue that it was really that bad, but I'm thinking that now is the time that we focus on America, that we focus on greatness, that we get people back to work, that we stop with the nonsense. And that could have been anybody, that could have been anybody that got the short end of the stick, a very short end of the stick. And I'm thinking like, okay, and I know many police officers who keep us protected. They love their job, and they stand completely against that type of stuff. I personally believe that there needs to be some type of better training. There needs to be something to make sure, because these officers are like any other human being. They want to go home at night. They got families, they got kids. They're afraid in some aspects, but at the same time, there needs to be better training, because to de-escalate a problem before it gets to be a problem, like the one gentleman that was in the car that was sleeping, and then that didn't turn out so well. The reality of it is, if somebody is in distress, there needs to be another body that comes in and says, hey, look, you're in a little bit of problem right now. You're driving, you're behind the wheel. You shouldn't be sitting behind the wheel intoxicated. Here's the point. You're going to go get you some help. And we got people who are going to help you. And then that could de-escalate the whole problem and potentially save a life and a lot more bigger problem, so to speak.
Okay. Appreciate your input on that, because I think a lot of people are watching it continue to this day, and
Right.
We actually recorded this before you're actually seeing it, so we're not sure what the situation's going to be by the time you see this, but at least Rodney coming up with some really good insight on that. Let's talk about cars, shall we?
Hey, brother. Hey.
Let's talk about cars. So and we've talked about this before, but for some of you people on the podcast and also maybe on the YouTube site that haven't seen us, haven't seen our interviews with Rodney, you are basically a Corvette and a Mustang guy from the start. Is that correct?
Well, my first car ever was a 1968 Mustang, and that's where I got my start driving. And I remember being a young guy, and my first car was this Mustang. It was a inline 6-cylinder with a 3-speed on the floor, and soon I started making modifications. I found a top loader 4-speed that changed the 3-speed out. And my dad, it was funny. My dad goes, "What's wrong with the transmission?" I said, "Well, nothing really. I just needed another gear." He said, "Need another gear for what?" He said it had 3 in it. Yeah, I was just so my dad was like, "Okay, Rodney, when you tear the car up, don't say nothing." I'm not going to tear it up. So needless to say, I ended up putting a 4-speed in it. And I had big plans for the outcome of the 6-cylinder. And in goes, 302 with maybe some big heads and everything on it. But it turned out that the car got kaput. It kind of crashed. Wasn't me.
Kind of crashed?
Yeah, kind of crashed.
Okay.
A senior in high school, and a drunk driver T-boned me in downtown Greensboro. And I have to say, a 1968 Mustang can take a lick in the driver's door. I mean, it took a lick. Literally, it bashed the driver's door this close to the steering wheel.
Wow.
That's how hard it got T-boned. It was bad. But needless to say, from the Mustang, I actually replaced that Mustang with another 68, but a 302 4-speed car.
Ah, there you go.
And so upgrade, because I had to sue the guy. Anyway, and so had to upgrade. And then after I was 19 years old, I made the decision to drive back to California. This is my trek coming back to California after high school. I came here for college, graduated from Cal State Dominguez. I got one of my Cal State Dominguez products around here somewhere, but went to Cal State Dominguez and got my degree in advertising marketing, and sold a Mustang and bought a 68 Camaro. So got into Camaros, and 68 is my number. So I ended up getting I got a 68 RS, and then I ended up buying another 68 that was just a straight Camaro, but my RS had to put a stroker motor in it, a little 383. Yeah, I had to tighten it up a little bit, and had a lot of fun. Put a set of the old school camel hump heads on it, got the compression up. Nice. Iski cam, I was good to go.
So you're a real car guy. I mean, you know that you walk the walk, you talk the talk.
Well, it's fun. I'm the type of guy that I think cars are something that you can invest your time in. And every time you go out there and rent, when you get it right, you go, huh, it's getting better. It's getting better, and you do these things. And I remember just going through that, going through my Camaro, and it was just a beautiful car, and it just, everything from trying to make it its best. And that's what I enjoy doing. That's what all these guys and girls do, build these cars. And there's some awesome girl builders out there. They rock and welding and fabricating. And peace out to the young ladies out there that are getting down in the shops too.
Absolutely. No, there's a lot of people showing interest in getting into the, I almost like car arts, if you will. I mean, a lot of people consider it an art form. I mean, there are television shows all over the place where they talk about redoing cars and that kind of thing. Yeah. And we've had people on the show. Bob's wife even gets involved in rebuilding some cars. That's, well, the truck. How is that going, by the way, Bob, that GMC? I know they haven't had a chance to work on it.
The museum's been closed, so they haven't been able to work on it, but the team is ready, willing, and able to go back to it. It's an all-girl build, just like Bogey, who has done down in Arizona. They're doing it here at the Automotive Driving Museum in El Segundo. So Peggy is part of a group with Cynthia and Amy, and I don't remember the names of the other gals, and they're putting together a GMC pickup truck.
Nice.
It used to be owned by a guy who was an actor who was in Christine.
Yeah.
Now that's trivia for you. That's interesting trivia. So yeah. See, it just follows you wherever we go, Bob. We can't get away from trivia. By the way, speaking of, Bob, I always talk about product placement, and I always want
to... look at that. There we go.
Hey, this is the Rodney Allen Rippy Cup, by the way.
Well, hey, that's the one side. That's the other side.
There you go. That's the other side. Absolutely.
That's the other side.
I feel so left out.
Here, I'll give you this, Bob. How's that?
There we go. All right.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
You got all the good stuff.
Yeah, well,
Hey.
I'm trying to remember where I got that from, but yeah, it's he signed it and everything. Probably when he sent me the cup. That could be
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob and I eventually will get into the cup wars.
Yes.
And be sending people cups and T-shirts and all that other fun stuff. So
Do
there you
it.
go. That's
I
a
want
little.
one. I want one.
You will get one. You will get
You
one.
will get one.
And the stickers.
And the
Hey,
stickers. Oh yeah, hold on, wait a minute. Here's
We
another
have
one.
stickers.
Stickers. We have
Nice.
stickers.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I'd say become a Patreon, patron, but on Patreon, but that's silly because you're a guest. As a guest,
Yeah.
you get stuff. We will
Yeah.
get you stuff.
You
So-
always gotta have stuff. Yeah.
All right, so let's update the long list of cars that I know you love.
Uh-huh.
Cars that are top of your I want that someday list. Get an update. What's the latest top 3, let's say?
Wow. I tell you what, love to have an Austin Healy.
All right. Which one?
Which one? The little short one. The little
The
short
bug eye?
Yes.
The Bug
Okay.
Eye Sprite. Yeah.
Little short Austin Healy. 44. 44
Oh,
with that
okay.
nice
Those are
tear
cool.
Drop,
There you go.
Drop. And let me see, that's 2. And I probably would say maybe I probably wouldn't mind having a pickup. Probably wouldn't mind having a 57 Chevy pickup. Something
There you
like that.
go.
Big window cut, custom cab.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice. Big block, slam it down, make it right.
Last year, the single headlight before they
Yeah.
went to doubles. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. So, what do you have in your garage right now?
Well, I still have my beautiful this is my little replica of my 1971 Corvette,
Nice.
1971 big block Corvette, 468 cubic inch, 4-speed car, fully air, fully loaded car, second owner.
Oh,
Wow.
And, right now, I have a little 89 GMC Jimmy that I'm thinking I really want to do a build on my Jimmy, and I'm hunting a S10 pickup truck. If you've been watching the drag racing, a lot of guys are building these little S10 pickup trucks. I'm like, need to put a little gin, one of the new gin motors in. I said that would be pretty nice with a nice little turbo. That'd be pretty good.
yeah, there you go.
They're light too. I mean, they should move pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So put some good brakes on. You got to stop, and that'll get it to hook up, and you're on your way.
That's
We got to get you to come out some of the Corvette runs we got going.
Hey, I sincerely hope so. Yeah, definitely. I definitely am looking forward to this year, hopefully going back through my Corvette. Got to do some updates on it. It's been parked for a while, but I want to get my girl out there and really shake and bake. And actually, I have some other things that I'm looking at as far as build projects and things like that. So I enjoy it. I think that it's a worthwhile thing to be able to take a car and do it, father, son, or father, daughter, or mother, daughter, and do a build like that, because it's nothing like that when you can spend time and then once it's all done, be able to hit up some of these meets and drive events. And man, it's just so awesome when you get out and enjoy it. Because there's nothing like a real clean ride when you hit the road. Nothing like it.
Do you belong to any car clubs? Or have you?
Actually, my guys from the guys down in Orange County, the boys down in Huntington Beach.
Surf City?
Surf City?
Yeah, Surf City, they kind of adopted me. And, and I love the guys, Darren over at DWS, DSW, Darren. Yo, Surf City Classics. There you go. I got my cap over here.
What is that, Bob? Is that the do not allow this man to our meetings? What is that?
I am an honorary lifetime member
Oh my!
of
Very
Surf City
good.
Classics.
A
Nice.
sitting ovation for Bob Beck, ladies and
There you
gentlemen.
There you go.
Wow.
But it's a lot of great people out there, and I think that one of the things that we're trying to do is, and you had mentioned, Bill, we're actually trying to make sure that we are keeping the young people involved and trying to keep them encouraged that you know, it isn't just about cars anymore. It's about transportation. It is about the technology, and that goes across the board. Anything that's moving, pulling, pushing, that's what it's all about. And so it's a great opportunity for young people to say, well, how can I be a part of this this industry? And it's, you know, you can be an engineer, you can be a designer. There's so many places that you can be in this whole scope of transportation, and it goes from the ground to outer space, thanks to, you know, Elon Musk and SpaceX and all the great things that they're doing, and they've hooked up with you know, our NASA team, and they're, you know, independent companies are getting into the game, and that's what's incredible.
We had Ed Justice Jr. in here a couple of shows ago, and he brought up something interesting, because in these life and times of coronavirus, everybody's trying to keep everything clean. Everybody wants to social distance, and the effect of that it's had on public transportation. Suddenly, people are going out and buying their own cars, whereas before they were getting on buses. What's your thought on how coronavirus has really affected the getting from place to place?
Well, see, I'm planning on building a big block and putting it on alcohol. Have you ever smelled alcohol? That will kill the coronavirus. If you have a big block with about 3-inch pipe on it, with that bad boy, a big cam, you don't have to worry about coronavirus. Because I can tell you that alcohol, them fumes, kill the coronavirus. Make you cough, make your eyes water, no problem with coronavirus. But
putting your head by the exhaust pipe, that's going to be a little weird. I just want to say that,
But, you know, but listen to that sound. It makes you want to listen to it. It makes you get real close to it. But you know, honestly, the coronavirus is a very serious issue, no joking. I mean, I have had friends who've been affected, who literally came down with coronavirus. I thank God that, you know, through my travels, and I mean, I'm trying to stay, okay, you know, and I'm trying to, and you know, but we're out, and we're just very fortunate, you know, but I'm really hoping that, you know, we have to, as a nation, as a people, we have to understand, and it's really affecting our car shows, our meetups. I mean, it is doing a number on all that stuff, and so we have to wait. We have to hold ourselves together. You know, you keep hearing about people throwing these, you know, I don't care, I'm going to throw a private party. You could have just affected your whole friend list, you know, by trying to be in your apartment throwing some kind of crazy little party. The best thing to do is stay safe, keep a social distance, keep everything disinfected. When I go to the grocery store, I'm like spraying everything down with alcohol and wiping, and before I put anything in my refrigerator or closet, I'm wiping everything down, and it's just, Lord, what a new world we live in. I'm telling you.
Yeah. That it is kind of interesting how, as you mentioned, so many of the car shows that we do, I mean, and we attend and we voice be hosts for, as we all have, and it's just amazing how it's just been wiped clean for the most part. The only thing that is going on are cruises.
Now they're going to try to do this car show thing where you have to walk in a line, and you can't, you know, they're trying to tell you that they want you to walk in a line. Like if you're looking at cars, you walk, you know, you can't just cut across. You have to.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, but what can you do? What can you do?
No, you're right. It's you know, you were working on you have your California car culture site going on. I know at one point you were talking about doing some podcasts with that. How's that coming along?
We're still turning our gears on that and getting a few things together. Actually, me and a colleague inadvertently launched a radio show out of Reno. We're on KTKQ out in Reno, but it's beautiful music. It's music, big orchestra music from the 1920s through the 2000s. And so it's for a more mature crowd and people who love the big orchestra music and things like that. So we're kind of fooling around with that music format right now. My buddy, he actually came from another one of the big radio outfits, and they put together one of the biggest catalogs of beautiful music. You know, they've cleaned it up and it's all beautiful and scheduled and everything. But you know, we're looking at, you know, getting out and doing more podcasts. I'm trying to get my little home system together and get everything together. So we're building it, you know, and you know how it is. You got to crank it together because, you know, I really wasn't thinking that, you know, that coronavirus would hit, and so now it looks like a lot of people are going to be having home studios. So here we go, folks. You know.
Yeah.
Here we
All
are.
right. Here we are. Speaking of which, here we are. It's time once again for and we were going to start this, I think, every show. It's called What's That T-Shirt?
Aha.
Yes.
We have all been, and I'm sure Rodney has too, to so many car shows. We have shirts all over the place, and we're going to start wearing T-shirts and that tell a story. Bob, and you, of course, I told him this late, so he's wearing, of course.
I'm the corporate guy.
You're the corporate guy. He's wearing, that's, of course, the Two Tired Guys production shirt.
Let's see if I can turn around and show you what the back end looks like.
Thank God you're wearing pants.
Look at my back end here.
No, that's the side end. That's not helping. A little lower. A little lower. There you go. A little to your right or your left, whatever. Well, that's pretty close. All right, very good. Very good. And so we are going to actually eventually have that in a store you could actually purchase and that kind of thing.
Cool.
Mine is, you remember this guy, Madman Muntz.
Oh, wow.
Now, there was a place, and it's interestingly enough right across the street from Galpin Auto Sports, where that is in Van Nuys, and it now is part of the Galpin Auto Center, where they have cars there now, but they used to have, right off the freeway there at Roscoe and the 405, they used to have Madman Muntz, who at the time did stereos. This was after he did cars and after he did all sorts of other stuff. And here, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see if this.
You can turn around, Go ahead.
Right. How about that?
There you go. Perfect. Yes.
Nice.
So that was Madman Muntz until it went out of business, and eventually the land was bought by Galpin. But it's right across the street from Galpin Auto Sports, and we talked, I believe, about that with Bo Bachman and all that when we had him on. Go ahead and watch it on here on our YouTube page and also on radio.com. You could listen if you're in your car. We talk a little bit about Madman Muntz. Now, Rodney showed us the Blazing Saddle shirt, which is awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Now let's take a look. What shirt you're wearing right now?
It is actually the good old fashioned. Let's talk about cars.
Oh my! That looks so familiar.
There we go.
That's right. Talk about cars. But you know what? In my closet, I have a beautiful stack of T-shirts. I would like run and go grab one, but I've got a lot of historical T-shirts. Really,
we'll have to have you back on, and we'll do a T-shirt show.
Yeah,
we'll just bring people on and do T-shirts.
A whole show on T-shirts.
I'm just saying.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have an idea for my morning podcast now.
There you go.
All righty. So, again, we've got all sorts of things going on. We are also doing our little Patreon conversation. So become a patron on Patreon, and we're going to ask Rodney an interesting question to which I'm sure we've spent hours and hours working on, and you will get a chance to hear that question. Become a patron on Patreon, and you can see our questions for all our guests that we've had, and that's only for people who are patrons of our show. And it's really cheap, and we do all sorts of fun stuff for you. So, Rodney, we appreciate the time, and thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, listen to our audio podcasts on radio.com and knx1070.com. Watch our video podcasts on our new Two Tired Guys Productions channel. Where'd Bob go? All right. And subscribe to both. Oh,
there's mine.
There you go.
All right. Wait a minute.
Everybody's looking.
Well, mine's not. Mine's still in mine's still in the box.
Hey, everybody, look at that. Look. Okay, you guys now you make me go for the big guns. How
Okay.
you like that? Huh?
Oh wow, that's really cool. Hold on.
How you like that?
All right, now we're gonna get that way. Okay.
There we go. Okay, you want to do
There
it
you
like
go.
that? Okay. Oh, hey.
Batmobile.
Hey, see, look at that.
Oh, very nice, Bob. I like that too.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, this adventure of one-upsmanship theater is, where was I? Oh, yeah. Follow us on social media. Become a Two Tired Guys patron. See exclusive videos. Get some swag. All sorts of fun stuff. Until next time, I'm Randy. That's Bob. That's Rodney. Join us again as we have fun talking about cars. See you next time.